Hey everybody, Aaron Blaise here. It is Friday, July 17th. Hot summer day. We're going to draw today.
It is quite nice.
It is quite nice. So I got my hot coffee on a hot July day.
Hot coffee.
Had my smoked salmon for lunch. I'm losing weight. Feel good. Oh, getting ready. So
Gotta have
today,
your coffee.
yeah, so well, we have a winner. We've got a winner for the new Wacom 1 from last week.
Woohoo!
On Twitch. Remember we had it over on our Twitch. If you subscribed, you became you were in the running for a Wacom 1, and we want to say congratulations to Ruth from Berlin, Germany. And her handle is Ruth_digital artist. She is our Twitch winner. And we've got a whisper into her. We've got a whisper message. Just like this. We have a whisper message. So, Ruth, if you see this, we're waiting to hear back from you. If we don't hear back from Ruth, we're going to have to pick somebody else. So, Ruth from Germany, you win. You've got a Wacom 1 coming your way. Next week, we're going over to Facebook, and it's going to be on Facebook. And so that's going to be our next place to go.
To where?
Facebook. Yes, we're going to be working over on Facebook for the next Wacom 1 Wiener. We're going to do 5 altogether. So this is number 2. So we've still got 3 more to go. So if you haven't won one yet, you still got a chance.
2 down, 3 to go.
Yeah, I know. I know we got a lot of followers, but you still have a good chance. It's better than the lottery. I mean, you know.
So you're saying there's a chance?
So I'm saying there's a chance. Let's move the mic so you can be heard as well.
So I can hear it too?
So you can be heard.
So I can be heard?
You dork.
I need a voice. I need to be heard.
So also, we want to remind you that Tim Hodges' course, it's actually coming out this weekend. We are done. It's up and going. But you can still order the pre-order at 50% off until 5 o'clock this evening. So get out there, get over to creatureartteacher.com and order Tim Hodges' brand new How to Draw Cartoon Mythical Creatures. He did our How to Draw Cartoon Animals and How to Draw Cartoon People, and they've been huge successes, especially for our younger audience members. They're just a lot of fun. Tim has a great approach. He's an amazing storyboard artist and really great at drawing these characters, and so we have a lot of fun with that. So like I said, go over to creatureartteacher.com, and you got that up right now, right?
Yep.
There it is. And you'll see it's drawing mythical creatures. And like I said, if it's perfect for our younger audience, or if you're just getting started drawing. If you want to sit down with your kids and draw, Tim's got a wonderful approach, and he's fun. Don't tell him I said that, though. So, and then also, you know, we've still got a lot of low prices on everything else over at Creature Art Teacher. And so if you go on over there, go to creatureartteacher.com, and you're still going to find a lot of stuff on sale. Our Photoshop brushes are still $1. Our Introduction to Animation course, which I've had out for 5 years now, is free right now.
Nice.
FRAA. Free. FR double toothpicks. What?
Free. It's all free.
Yep. So it's me, Aaron Blaise. I'm here, and I got my sidekick, Dustin Blaise, with me.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you.
And we got Nick over in Sarasota, and he is going to be manning questions as well. We're going to be doing the usual. I'm going to be sitting here doing some digital drawing today. I thought I'd change it up a little bit from what I usually do with all the big cats and African animals and this and that. I pulled out some reference that I shot while I was in Maine a few years ago in Acadia National Park. And if you've gotten my watercolor painting course, then you've seen some of these rocks. I love these rocks. Acadia is one of my favorite places to go. It's absolutely beautiful. It's in the north, kind of northeast-ish, kind of central but northeast coast of Maine here in the United States, and it's just super dramatic. And I love this image right here of these rocks, and I thought it would be fun to do some lasso tool drawing and create some of our own brushes. Create some rock brushes from these textures and see if we can paint them in. I thought that might be fun to try. So that's what we're going to try today. Today's experimental day.
Experimental day?
It is. Yep. And we got a little ring-billed gull there. There it is. That little ring-billed. I don't even know if that's a ring-bill. Is that a ring-bill? That's a ring-bill. Yeah. That's a ring-bill, pretty sure.
A ring-billed gull.
And I love that silhouette of that pine tree in the background. That's going to take up a significant little spot in our composition today. So, there we go. So we're going to play with rocks and birds and pine trees.
Rocks.
Acadia National Park. All right. YouTube question. Hello, everyone. Aron, are tutorials from other artists covered by our annual subscriptions, or do we sign up separately? Anything on my website, you get. That includes anything from the other artists. So it's not just me. If you are an annual member on our website, your fee that you pay for that annual membership gets you everything. Photoshop brushes, all of my tutorials, all of our guest tutorials, everything that's on the site you get, other than merchandise. You just don't get the merchandise. But any digital goods you get. So there you go. Let me turn off my notifications, because that's annoying.
And good morning, Gabby.
Gabriella.
Gabriella.
Do not disturb. Hey, Gabby, the Gabster. Gabarino. All right, so I'm going to draw. Let's dive. Whoops, I already got one there. Let's just dive in and start drawing, shall we? So I've got this everything kind of flowing this way kind of feel, which I like. If I break this up into thirds, kind of got this right here. And I'm going to put that gull right about in here. Here. Alright, so there's our gull. And I really like kind of the bunching of all the rocks in here. And then the big... Trying to think of the composition here.
Think very, very hard.
Think very hard. And then I want that nice big face. There's all these wonderful shapes in here.
Ooh, that sounds like a good idea, Gabby. Gabby wrote, Aron, when you guys get the workshops up and going again, we should have a class up near Yosemite.
Yeah, we should. Don't tell me what to do.
You don't give me orders, I give you orders.
That sounds awesome, actually. I'd love to get up to or Sequoia as well, because I really love Sequoia as well.
Sequoia is nice.
And Sequoia is not quite as crowded as Yosemite.
No. I don't think I've ever been to Yosemite. And what was that,
You haven't.
Oh.
Because I haven't either.
Yeah, there's that one waterfall I would love to see that one time of the year that...
It showers the gold.
Yeah. What do they call, like, the fire falls or
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because the way the sun rises, I believe, at a certain time of the year, it shines through the water and makes it look like fire. It is beauty.
Beauty?
Beauty.
Yeah. Twitch question. Have you ever been to Machu Picchu in Peru? I have not. I would love to go. I want to go to Lima. We're watching. I want to move that tree around. Having it right above the gull was not a good choice.
Not a good choice at all, sir.
No.
Hey guys, what kind of equipment do you use for live streaming? I mean, camera and light. Well, we're using ceiling light for the lighting.
Well, I've got it's track lighting. It's LED track lighting.
Yes, but I think you guys installed that.
I installed it.
Yeah, you installed it a couple months ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And
6 months ago.
as far as cameras go, the camera that is currently on his face right now is a Logitech webcam, and then the other cameras like this handycam shot here, and my face here, are all done using handycam cameras from Sony, and they're linked directly to the computer through something that's called a cam link, which converts a HDMI cord into a USB port, and it reads as a video device on a site like OBS.
Oh, BS.
Every time with that. OBS. So that is the equipment that we use, and a single microphone between the two of us.
Yeah, the mic situation isn't the best, but we've had problems with it in the past, and quite frankly, we just haven't fixed it. So I'm just very roughly, you can see I'm really kind of searching for my composition here. And what I can do is, I'm going to set these to overlay, to multipass.
Multipass. Are you guys on the wired internet? I think are you still Wi-Fi, or did you connect the...
Oh no, we didn't do it, did we?
No, not yet.
I hate me. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to lay in very roughly some of these. I'm going to block it in. I want to block this in and get a very rough idea of what it is we're looking at, Oh, I lost my doggone, I forgot about that.
Oh no.
Oh no. Where's my... Let's make this shape dynamics. Let's go to my shape dynamics. We're going to go directional. I'm going to come up here. We're going to turn this around. There we go. We're going to hit OK. OK. So now any direction I go, you're going to have a nice, smooth, chalky feel. Now we're going to be making some brushes today. We're going to be making some nice, smooth, well, grungy, actually. We're going to make some grungy brushes today. I want to go nice and cool back here.
What do you think?
I want you to see how quickly we can lay this stuff in. Go ahead, Dustin, sorry.
No worries. What do you think that some young, even not so young artists, every time they make a bad drawing, they think it's like the end of the world or something?
What do I think of that?
Why do you think
That's just immaturity. That's all. Just immaturity. They'll get over it. And you just gotta, people that think it's the end of the world when they do a bad drawing, they're not used to doing a lot of drawing. Because all they did was put effort into one drawing and they're losing their mind. You gotta get used to putting some effort in.
I can only picture like that one. I can picture this in like a comedy, a post-apocalyptic movie or something, where a guy's drawing something and makes a terrible line like, "Oh, I just ruined it. This is terrible." And all of a sudden, like a meteor hits the planet like right after, or something random.
Oh, that's fun, random.
It's all random. Will you do in the future a thumbnail stream?
Sure, we could do something like that. I mean, I do thumbnails kind of. Well, no, I don't. I was gonna say I do thumbnails almost every stream, but I really don't. I guess I just dive in. I'm kind of doing a thumbnail here in a sense, but I'm really just really kind of just diving in. And what I want to do here, start defining YouTube question. Good afternoon. Does your drawing tablet require a computer? Yes, it does. Do you have any suggestions on which one is a good one that does not require a computer to operate? Well, there's iPad. iPads don't require. And then the Wacom companion. Is it the companion? Wacom companion?
The Wacom 1.
Is the
Wait.
Wacom one? No. Which is the one that is? It's already a self-contained
Oh,
computer.
that is a
Companion, right?
Wacom companion, but I think they changed the name to something else recently.
Can you look it up?
Yeah.
Because we should know that. Can't remember. For some reason. I can't remember. So here I'm...
Mobile Studio Pro.
Oh, Mobile Studio Pro. There you go. I'm sorry.
Mobile Studios.
Yeah. Mobile Studio Pro. And that...
I think there's also the standard Mobile Studio. I think it's just the Pro versions are in a higher resolution, I think.
Maybe so.
They used to be called companions, but nowadays they're mobile studios.
Mobile Studio Pro. And that's something you don't need a... it's all self-contained. They tend to be a fair amount more expensive. So be prepared for that. And then there's a lot of different options out there as far as that sort of thing goes. Sorry, I'm thinking.
And the current available sizes for mobile studios is a 15.6 inch and a 13.3 inch. Those are the two available sizes for mobile.
Okay, so now, Shane, who wants some aspirin?
Now, Shane.
I'm gonna go dark. I'm gonna go dark. Go dark. Getting dark. It's getting dark. I want to make a kind of a grungy. Let me grab some of my other brushes. Or Mac brush. Hair foliage. My textured brushes. Let me see what I got in here. I want to see what I got. Show me what you got. Yo, show me what you got. Yeah, these are all, I'm going to use those on the rocks later. Just looking to see what I got in here. What have I got in here? Trying out different ones. Oh, that's a thing. That's a thing.
Out of all the wildlife parks in America, what would you say, which would you say is the best? I'm not American, so I haven't been to them, but I hear Yellowstone is the place to go.
They're all great. I mean, they're all completely different places, so it's hard to say which is the best because of, the North American continent is so diverse. It really depends on what you're looking for. Although Yellowstone is, it's got the classic American, wide open range type things that a lot of people think of. If you're not American, it's the stuff you think of, outside of America. And so that's cool. So Yellowstone is definitely a great park, and it's actually one of the first parks. It's not the first park, if I remember right. I think it was the first national park.
Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
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 I think it's one of not the...
Teddy Roosevelt designated it. Oh, Nick says, by the way, in Tim's new course, he did a neat animal mix-up game where he made a grid and then rolled dice, and then he made an animal based on those results. So he drew a vulture mixed with a bison and a lion. I didn't realize that, so that's super cool. It's something you can do with your kids. You can come up with this little game like Tim did. That's super cool. I like that.
Grant designated Yellowstone as the first national park in the United States and the world.
Grant did? I thought it was
Grant.
Roosevelt.
No, in 1872.
Oh.
And the park is home to the world's largest collection of geysers, including the iconic Old Faithful.
That is true, my good sir.
That is very true. Very, very true.
So what I'm doing now is I'm really just kind of scribbling, and I want you to see how loose we can be. Twitch question. Are you coloring with the pastel sea brush? I certainly am.
I most certainly am.
I am. Right now I am. But I'm being very, very loose with it. Because we're going to work within some of these silhouettes that I'm creating. I want you to see how loose we can be. I'm like giving the suggestion of little branches. There we go. Man, it is hot in there. Man, it is hot in there.
We were on the same page.
Want me to put it on oscillate?
Sure, why not? Yes, please. Have you been to Canada or the North Pole?
Or the North Pole?
Or the North Pole?
I have been to Canada, yes, many times.
And I myself
never been to North Pole.
I myself actually lived up in the Great White North.
Yeah, Dustin used to live in Toronto.
I lived in Toronto, Ontario for 2 years, working in the 3D depth industry. And let me tell you, that was a interesting experience.
A little cold, was it, eh?
It was quite cold. It was a frozen, hostile wasteland there, bud. Gabby's asking, when are you guys coming to Yosemite?
Well,
soon.
Maybe when the COVID is done.
When it's over.
Here we go. I'm going to go a little darker in the background. Whoops. Did it again. You see that?
When Aron finishes the Birds of Prey course, he's going to die of pure joy.
I am. I'm going to darken that background somewhat. There we go. A little bit dark. Because I want my gull to be the brightest light in the image.
Yes, we really are the real Rotten Took. Yeah, I'm Rut. This is my brother Took.
How's it going, eh? How's it going, Bear?
Don't call me that. Oh, sorry, Mr. Bear.
Oh, I hate bears.
Oh, gee, eh? You're one big beaver.
All right.
I'm sure it was pretty sarcastic, Gabby. It was like, nah, it's fine, I swear. Book a full flight with no mask. It'll be a great time.
Well, hang out at Nakatomi Towers.
Is that a Die Hard reference?
It was. Yeah, have a few laughs. We'll have a great time.
Come out to the coast, have a few
laughs.
That is my all-time favorite one.
All right, let's make some brushes. I want to make a brush for this foliage back here. Let's have some fun making brushes. Today's going to be a brush lesson day. And real quick, I'm just going to lay in. Just going to lay in really quickly our little gull right here. It's just going to be a quick indication. We're going to do we'll do proper drawing of it later.
Are you coming back to the UK again?
Oh yeah, we'll be coming back to the UK, but we have to wait for COVID to finish. Europe doesn't want us right now.
Europe is not really happy with America at the moment. In fact, the rest of the world is not happy with America right now.
Yeah, for good reason.
For very, very good reason.
Freaking idiots can't put a mask on their face. All right.
Which direction is the light going to be coming from?
It's going to be kind of it's not going to be real directional at all. It's going to be flat light.
Overcast.
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 Yeah.
How are you coping with COVID-19?
Are we coping with it? Like everybody else, I guess. We just stay home and just keep to ourselves.
Well, we're kind of doing the opposite of in Florida right now.
No,
I mean we're the ones being safe and everything, but most of the rest of Florida,
yeah.
not so much. Like, oh yeah, let's go out to the beach. Let's not wear masks because we can't breathe.
Well, I have been to the beach, but stay away from everybody.
Yeah.
Do you see Detlef? The stuff he's doing?
No, I have not.
Detlef is in he's in the south of France and he's just cranking. You should see the stuff he's creating.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Alright, so there's our general composition right there. You can see how quickly I turned something off. What happened? Oh, you know what I did? I got to darken these. Watch. I darkened the background and ended up matching the plants in the midground. So I got to go to image, adjustments, hue, saturation, and darkening that. Oh, what did I do?
You did something?
I did. Yeah, you're right. I did do something. Oh, I moved it under the sky. That's what I did. You idiot.
You gotta move it.
Yeah, I moved it. I don't know how that happened. Okay, see, now it's lighter than the background. Now we gotta go hue, saturation, and just darken. Just a wee bit. There we go. So there's our composition right here. And I might do this. I'm going to go up here, go to there, go here, going to go fill it. Look at that. And then I'm going to knock this back so that I can play with the, there we go. So there's our real kind of graphic composition. Now I want to go in and play with some brushes.
How about a storm in the distance?
That's going to add a little bit too much. I want some quiet areas in here. And so, that being said, I want to show you some stuff that we can do. One of the things I did was I grabbed some frame grabs of some of these rock textures, like here, and here, like that. And I want to experiment with these. I want to see if we can make brushes out of them. So I'm going to go make a little 5x5 inch file. Where'd it go? Alright, let me do that again. File, new, 5x5, create. Where is it, Dustin?
Where's what?
Where's my 5x5 inch file?
I don't know. Where, do you remember where you last put it?
That is bizarre. And I'm making a new image, but it's not coming up. Is it coming up over there? No?
No?
Okay. What's going on? File. New. 5x5.
Grant me a new file for me to work with.
Yeah. That's really weird. It's not, I don't know where they're going. Let me do this. Acadia, go. Okay, so I'm going to quit Photoshop. See, this is where I'm really confused.
Confusion.
Yeah, because it's not allowing me. Where the heck is everything? See that? I'm going to have to force quit it. I've never had this happen.
Uh-oh.
Very odd. It's very odd. Okay, so there's my goal. There's I wanted to show you guys some of these while we're at it. These are some of the images that I shot. Look at this place. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow.
I know, that's Acadia. It's such an amazing place. I love it, Lara.
Is that when we took the trip?
Yeah, yeah. When you were, this isn't the same time. This is your grandfather and I went. My father and I. This is a few years ago, but it's the same place that your mother and me and your sister and you went to. Yeah, very beautiful.
Remember that rock there?
Yeah,
That beach?
yeah. It's an incredible place. I did a lot of painting here. Lots of painting here. Yeah, pretty cool place, huh?
Oh yeah. And one of the questions that I think this can answer, but for the art piece, like what season do you think it's set in? Like
Oh, this
winter?
is summer.
Summer?
Yeah. I'm gonna open Photoshop back up. Oh, that's weird. I didn't ask to open that. Oh, it's because I force quit. That's right. Alright. Let's do this. Let's open. And let's go Acadia Go. And we're going to do our screenshots. We're going to open this up. I got to bring everything down now. Okay, I got questions here. Sorry, I got to.
Same here.
I've got questions here.
Nature.
Twitch question. I just upgraded to a Cintiq 24 Pro and I'm working on some animation in Toon Boom Harmony. I find myself getting hyper focused and somewhat obsessive to a degree that almost makes it difficult to work effectively. Have you ever experienced this? And if so, how do you think someone might get over perfection in creative endeavors? Loosen up. I'm not quite sure I understand. Find yourself getting hyper focused. I think you're being hyper aware. I don't know what you're. Yeah, we're all. I mean, we're artists. Of course, we're going to be hyper focused. You know, it doesn't make you any different than anyone else. You just got to chill. Just chill out, man. Relax.
Chill out, dude.
Have you ever experienced this? No, I mean, I don't get super uptight about my work. I get because I just enjoy it, and I've always done it that way. You know, there might be times when I was at work where I'd get a little nervous about if I'm being good enough or not, but otherwise, it's really about getting in there and enjoying what you're doing. You know, and you got to do that. But right now, I want to. We're going to create some brushes. Let's see if this is going to work. So let's do File, New, Create. There we go. For some reason, now it's popping up. I don't know why it wasn't popping up before. But anyway, so now we're going to make some brushes. And here we go. Nick says, actually, according to a recent poll, almost 90% of Americans are wearing masks. They are. Remember, you are seeing data that is potentially 3 to 4 weeks old in testing results. No, I agree. There's just there's a few idiots out there that just aren't. All right, so let's pull up some textures. I'm gonna drag this one over. I like this texture. All right, and I grabbed this as a texture from the rocks that we're actually copying. Now, there's a couple things I want to do with this. First thing I want to do, I want to get rid of the color, because when you make a brush, it doesn't transfer color. It's just going to transfer dark and light. So I'm going to go to adjustments, and I'm going to go to hue and saturation, and I'm just going to drop that saturation all the way down so that we're black and white. Now I want to go to adjustments and exposure. Now this is where I want to play with it. I'm going to push the exposure. I'm going to push the gamma correction. So we look at that. So we can get some really cool contrast into the white. So here, this is what's going to give me that ability to get some of that rock texture. Right there. Now this little piece right here might be a problem. This dark piece. But I'm gonna use that anyway, just to see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna hit OK. And now what I'm gonna do, because I don't want these hard edges around the brush shape. So I'm gonna go to my eraser. I'm gonna grab the airbrush, the soft round, from my eraser, and I'm just gonna start erasing. And I'm gonna make that 100%. I'm going to start erasing. I want to create kind of a round brush. Like so. Just start erasing. Because ultimately what I want to be able to do with this, now like I said, this little piece right here, because it's going to repeat, it might not work out, but we're going to use it anyway. Because if that doesn't work, there's some other sections we can try using. All right, so I've got that. So now, what I want to do is I want to turn off that background, and I'm going to come up to, I'm going to set this to multiply. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to come up to Edit, and I'm going to go to Define Brush Preset. So now you can see I've got this really cool kind of rock texture. And I'm going to say rock texture. I'm going to call it that. And we'll go, okay. So now look, I've got a rock texture brush. I'm going to turn that off, turn this on. Let's go to our rock. Now watch what happens. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab this color, but also make it dark. I'm going to go right over the top of that. Watch what happens. Whoops, nothing happens because I'm on the eraser. Let's do this. Let's go all the way down, and there's our rock texture. So watch what happens. I don't like that. That's not a good rock texture, is it? It's just a weird repeating pattern. So we have to do some adjustments to it. So the first thing I want to do, I want to spread it out a little bit. If you look at here, here's my brush adjustments. I don't know if I can make this larger. I guess you can't larger. I'm going to spread it out a little bit. I'm going to take it off of, that's okay. Now I'm going to go into my shape dynamics, and I want to flip the X. I'm going to flip the Y. I'm going to change the angle jitter on it. I'm going to come back to the brush tip shape. I'm going to pull it over itself just a little bit. Now when I draw, I get a little bit of a cool texture. But remember that dark section I was talking about? See how it pops up a lot? I don't want that. I like this texture that we're creating, but that dark is kind of annoying. I'm still going to hold on to it though. We're going to still create something here. Let's come in here. I'm going to do roundness jitter a little bit, size jitter, angle. I'm going to pull this on top of itself a little bit. We can even do some scattering. We can push the scattering a little bit and the count. See there? Creates an interesting texture. So let's actually let's do this. Let's just go. Okay, we're gonna save that. We'll hit that. Hit OK on that. Now I want to go bigger with it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a layer, and I'm going to hit Command, and oh, I'm sorry, Control, and I'm going to create a clipping mask. So I'm working just over that brown section. And you can see I'm creating some texture here. Very simple rock texture. Now, I want to change that up a little bit. I'm going to go a little lighter with it. There, see that? Look how cool that is. Really cool little grungy texture that we can create.
Nice.
Very nice. It is quite nice.
It is great.
And so, let's do this. So we've got that. I want to come up and I want you to see the reference. Where is it? Here's our reference. So let's open that up so you can see it. So this is ultimately what we're working towards. You can see that texture on here. And we're going to go in later and we're going to work some of this up. But I want you to see that so that you can see what we're working towards. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add some cooler colors. See that? Whoops. Let me go back here.
Quick question.
Throw some cooler colors in here. Sure.
Do you draw from emotion, or in more sense, do you use your emotions for your drawings?
Sure. Yeah, I do. A lot of us do.
Do you have any courses on reptiles?
I don't have any courses on reptiles yet, but we will. So I'm just going through and taking this brush, and you can see how it just creates this really wonderful texture. Now, I want to go in, and I want to do some more. And we're going to, let's do another one. I want to show you guys how you can just create all these really fun, kind of grungy brushes just by using photographic textures. I'm always out photographing really great textures, rock textures, dirt textures, leaf patterns, those sorts of things, because you can bring them back into the studio, you can grab them and you can make brushes out of them. It's a wonderful thing to do. So here's another one right here. This is a nice, I think this is going to be a nice texture. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to drag this over, there it is. I'm going to enlarge it. Okay, so there's that. Now once again, I'm going to go to image adjustments, and we're going to go to hue and saturation. I'm going to drop that saturation down, and I'm going to go to image adjustments, exposure. We're going to push that exposure there, and the gamma, and the exposure a little bit there. We go right up in there. There we go. There. And then once again, we're going to go back to the eraser. Oh, remember my eraser was kind of set with this texture. It's kind of interesting. We can have some fun with that. So you want to soften those edges so that you don't get, it all kind of blends in with itself. So now if I turn off that background, right there, I can save that file, define brush preset. Oh, cancel. I want to go to my brushes. There we go. File, edit, I'm sorry, edit, define brush preset. And we're going to go to rock texture. Call it rock texture 2. Okay? So there we go. There we got that. We got that saved. Would this composition be an example of diffused lighting? Yes, this is going to be diffused lighting. Absolutely. This is all diffused lighting. So, now we got this new texture in here. I'm just going to keep working over the top of it. And once again, remember, it starts out as this weird, if I go really dark with it. You know, I don't want that. This is what I want. I'm going to grab my brush presets here, and I'm going to go to shape dynamics, or brush tip shape. Let's space that out a little bit. Let's go down to shape dynamics, and let's go to flip the Y, flip the X. We're going to go to size jitter. Let's pull that on top of itself a little bit. Let's see what we get now. Look at that texture. See that?
Nice. Now, how would you?
We're creating this nice little grunge texture.
Now, how would you do that texture if this was a watercolor painting?
You can do it with flicking, by masking and then flicking your brush. Lots of different things. Then you go in and you fine tune it. Now watch this. So I'm going to save this brush. Let's just save that as rock texture 2519. Okay, so we're going to save that. Now, what I want to do is I want the grain to be finer. So I'm going to shrink it down. I'm going to shrink it down, but now I'm going to click on the scattering, and I'm going to scatter it. I'm going to increase the count, so I can tighten up, increase that count. Go back to brush tip shape, pull back a little bit so it gets a little tighter in there. Now look how tight that grain is on top of this rock. Okay? And now because I'm keeping this clipping mask, it doesn't go outside of where I want it to create texture, see?
Do you set a color palette with each painting, or do you wing it?
I just wing it. I know kind of where I want it to be. I want this to be kind of diffused. And so I just kind of wing it.
Just go with the flow.
Just go with the flow. Go with the flow. So here's a little green. I'm going to make this a little green in here, kind of blue, cool, with all the lichens and whatnot. See there? Look how cool these textures are. All these rock textures. Now we can make these, we should make these available on the website, huh, Dustin?
I think that would be a good idea.
See, look at that, look how cool that texture is. How quickly you can make these. And it's a lot of fun. And I'm just staying within the, you know, these are all different grays. They're just warm and cool. So it looks like there's a lot more color here than there really is. Got a little bit of pink in there. Maybe I'll go a little darker. But they're on the gray side of things. YouTube question. Hello, Aaron. May I ask a question? Yes. How do you know when to increase or decrease the color saturation when approaching light and shadow? To me, it's really about the purity of the light. You know, it's like in here, this is a gray day, and so we're shooting for some gray kind of lighting. You know, there's not a lot of color in the lighting. There's not a lot of warmth in the lighting. Now I want to try something new. I'm just going to experiment a little bit. I'm going to grab my lasso tool. I'm just going to grab a little section here, kind of come down. We'll go like this. We'll make some cracks. And now I'm going to maybe go and grab some, whoops, I'm going to grab my brush. And I'm just hitting a few areas. I can't do Christopher Walken.
What were you trying to do?
Trying to do Christopher Walken. That was bad.
I'm currently hitting. It's one of the words I still.
So if I deselect this now, you can see I've got some cool, some really interesting fragmentation going on. Now that's what I want to do. So I'm going to grab my lasso tool again and just once again, just come in here. And I can start creating these little fragments.
Did I ever
Like
ask
so.
the color palette question?
Whoops, I keep forgetting to go back to my paintbrush. Now if I go back to my paintbrush, look at this. You come in here. What'd you ask?
Did I ever ask the question about the color palettes?
Ask it again. I can't remember what you're talking about.
Do you set a color palette with each?
Oh,
painting,
no,
or
I
do
wing
you-
it. Yeah,
or do you
I wing it. Yeah. So
Alright,
if I
so-
deselect again, you can see we start getting these really interesting changes in the rock. And so I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to follow some of these cracks.
Will Aron do some more traditional media live streams in the future? Like gouache, watercolor,
I will.
oil, cowbell, etc.
Yes.
Especially cowbell.
There, see? So if I deselect, you can see we're going to start to get some fun, interesting textures in here. So I'm just going to go through and do the same thing up in here.
Have you ever animated to a recording of yourself singing?
No. No.
No. Sounds like fun. You gotta try it. You really got a meter.
All right. So look at the really cool fun you can have with this using your lasso tool. So I'm just gonna once again I'm gonna grab a little, just grabbing a little section, and I'm gonna grab a little bit of here, a little darkness there. Grab my brush. So don't be afraid to get in there and have some fun with these textures. So I'm going to do the same thing now with the light areas. So let's deselect that. All right, and then we're going to go in and we're going to do some stuff with this. We're going to have some fun with it. But I'm going to go in, let's grab, I'm going to put another layer on top of see the light areas there? I'm going to put another layer on top of that, and I'm going to set that to a clipping mask as well. So I'm going to go to my control and click on it, create clipping mask. And now it's only going to paint where my light areas are. So now I can go to I'm going to grab that, but now I want to go brighter with it. So maybe there is a little bit more direct light. We're just going to create some texture there. I'm going to go a little warmer with it. See there? Creating some texture. We're cheating. We're actually using the rock texture from the actual reference to create the textures in our image. And look how cool that is. It's really nice texture. I like that. Twitch comment. Let me move my image over. Twitch comment. I am from Maine, but I moved to Niagara Falls when I was in 2nd grade. What is your favorite place in Maine? I love Acadia Park. Also, you should add some lupins to the grass. They grow everywhere, but not as much as they used to. My Grammy has lived there all of her almost 96 years and said they used to be all over the place, that you couldn't go anywhere without seeing them. These photos make me miss home. Yeah, I'd say Acadia is one of my favorite places as well. I absolutely love it there, and I just think it's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful place. And I think I will add some lupins in here. Let's do another thing. Since I've got this going here, I'm going to create a new texture, or not. I'm sorry, not a new texture, but a new layer. I'm going to create a new layer right over our plants here in the background, and let's go ahead and set that to a clipping mask as well. I want to try something.
What is the difference between alpha lock and a clipping mask?
The alpha lock, you're working on the same layer. The clipping mask allows you to do the same thing but on a different layer. Create a clipping mask. Okay, so there we go. But now I want to create a different brush. I want to create kind of a leaf brush. I'm looking at my reference and there's some interesting leaf textures in there. And so I'm going to go, let's do this. Let's go back to our brush making file, turn on the background, turn that on. And now I'm actually going to paint. I'm going to grab this hard round brush.
Have you ever painted rocks this way with the lasso tool, or
Oh
are
yeah,
you experimenting today?
No, I've done it before. It's a lot of fun. And I wanted you guys to see how easy it can be done. So here, what I'm doing, so I'm going to create right there. Let's just see what this does. Not quite sure yet. There, that's all I'm going to do. Let me clean that up just a little bit. Because these are the shapes of the leaves. Move that right there into the middle. We're going to turn off that background. We're going to go to Edit, Define Brush Preset. All right, so now we're creating another brush. So now I want to do a couple of different things. So let's turn this off, turn this background back on. Let's go to a new layer. And if I draw, once again, you're just going to see this weird thing. I don't want that. So I'm going to go to my brush tip shape. First of all, I'm going to go to direction. So now, no matter what direction I draw, it's going to follow me. You see? Now I want to make sure that in my brush tip shape, I get everything. I'm going to space it out the right way. I get everything to follow the right way. So now you can see I've got everything following the right way. Now I can bunch it up, and I'm going to go to my shape dynamics. I'm going to flip the X. So now it feels a little more random. You can see, you can look at this. I'm making a little bush. This is the idea. This is what I'm trying to do. Is I want to create a little bush.
A little bush.
A bush, eh?
A bush.
Now, once again, I can go to my shape dynamics and pull those together a little more. And let's go to shape dynamics, change the size. There we go. You see there? You see there?
You see right there? You
See
see what you're doing right there?
You see what we're doing? The thing we don't want to do is flip the Y, because it's going to flip the plant in different directions. I don't want that, so I'm just going to do that. We can play with the roundness of it. We can get some roundness jitter this way, so it makes some of the plant feel like it's coming towards us, which I kind of like. I'm going to pull that back a little bit. Let's just save this as a leaf brush. Leaf, bush, we'll just call it that, okay? And then let's go ahead and push our roundness, and let's go into our scattering. Let's scatter a little bit and push the count. Look at that. Now we've got something that is really kind of cool, don't we? Now we can also go into color dynamics. Watch this. if we go into a little bit of hue jitter, and we want brightness jitter, just a touch of hue jitter. Hue jitter? What is hue jitter? Well, if I go into green, now watch when I paint. Look how the colors are different. See, there's a little bit of jitter in the color. So I'm creating this little bush. Okay? I'm going to save that because I want you to see how quickly you can create some texture here. So let's go over to our bush here, and we've already got the clipping mask for the background, and we've got a layer over the top of it knocking it back. I'm going to cool it off anyway and just bring it over into the gray area a little bit, and I'm going to knock the size down and go a little bit more. I'm going to bring the brightness jitter down. I don't want it to be that. I'm going to knock the value down. There. Now look, I can create some plant textures back here. Let me blow this up for you so you can see. I can create some plant textures back here. It's just kind of a starting place. You know, I'm just creating texture. That's all I'm doing. Just as a starting place to create some more plants. There, so we've got a little texture back there. It's all about texture. Okay? So that's kind of cool. And then we can go in and we can do some lasso tool and some of the lassoing, and we can have some fun with that. Like if I come in here, let's try it. Let's take the lasso tool now, and I'm going to go. Oh, let's just go here. Look, I'm getting really kind of bushy with it, getting jiggy with it. No. Get jiggy with it. Oh, why did it do that? I wonder. Maybe it doesn't work over a clipping mask. Let me do this. Do the same thing. Like, oh, what's going on? What am I doing wrong? I'm doing something wrong.
Something's going wrong here.
Something's going wrong. I don't understand.
Sir, something's not right.
Oh, I want to, Nick's reminding me to remind you, my Fundamentals of Animation course is free for a limited time to help those that are stuck at home. Yes, we came up with this idea to help those that are stuck at home. You know, we want you learning while you're stuck, and so we decided to make the Fundamentals of Animation course absolutely free. So get over to creatureartteacher.com and you can but you can download my whole course for absolutely free, and you can learn some animation. There you go.
Well, there you go.
Well, there you go. Oh, I know. I don't know why that's there like that. There. Maybe that's why. Let's see. No pixels selected. Oh, it's because it's Z. Okay, it won't show again. See, this is what I'm curious about. There we go. And if I go in now with my brush, yeah, that works. See? Z, deselect. Yeah, that works. I don't know why it wouldn't work before. I don't know what I was doing wrong. There we go. So let's deselect that. We're going to reselect. Right along here. There we go. And let's go back to my brush.
Is your lasso set to subtract?
Maybe, I don't know. There we go. So I'm just going in and hitting some darker areas in here. Now I'm going to go a little greener with it. Let's go a little greener with it. Look, now we'll go deselect. Oh, look at that. We've got some little darker areas in there. So we can go in and just continually kind of improve upon it and keep working it. And then we can go in by hand and actually draw and paint. And that's where it really starts to sing, is when you kind of get away from the gimmicky side of things and start really kind of painting. Right now we're just laying down value, we're laying down some texture, and then we're going to go in and we're really going to start pulling it all together with some real drawing and painting. I want to come back to our main rock textures again. I want to do some more lassoing. And there's some images or some sections in here that I really kind of like. And I want to go in there and play with that. Let me grab the brush there. And it's this one right here. So there we go. There, like that. We'll grab our lasso tool again. I'm going to go. There we go. And we'll grab our brush. Twitch question: is it easier for you to make new brushes than to find your old ones? That's a very good question. Sometimes it is, because I am so bad at organizing my brushes that I can't find a lot of them. So, yes, sometimes you're right. Deselect. But it's kind of fun making brushes, though, isn't it? I love it. Let's get some white lichens in here. So let's grab our brush here. Look at that, I'm just kind of want to see what happens if I just make this pattern. Let's just, whoops. There we go. Let's see what we get. I want to get lichens. Deselect. Yeah, so you create some fun little patterns in there, doesn't it? And that's really what it's about. I'm trying to be kind of just random. Look at that. Look at that. We're just experimenting.
It's all random.
It's on random. So we're going to go in here and there's a lichen. A lichen. There we go. Select. Deselect. There. So we're getting these fun textures that are going to be really cool once we get it. Now I want to come back in here again. Go in with the dark.
Would these kind of stone textures be good for buildings?
Absolutely. If you want to build like a rock, an old castle. Think of an old castle with all the texture on it. You could come up with some great stuff for that.
I'm looking into good ways of creating castle concept illustration. Thank you so much for doing this environmental piece. Really helpful.
Oh yeah. Look at that, really thin. Then we go in with our dark texture and just paint it in. Look at that. Get right in there. Deselect. Boom. We got some neat cracks. Okay. John on YouTube asks, for applying to Disney as a character designer, what should I include in a 10-page portfolio? Turnaround, facial sheets, standing, animals, and humans? Yes, I think you should do all of that. I think you should have your characters and situations, show them emoting, and different expressions, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's all really helpful kind of stuff. And you know, it's not about quantity. Obviously, you got only 10 pages. It's about quality. So make sure you're putting your best in there. That's absolutely imperative. Put your best work forward. So here we go. So I'm just kind of creating this texture in here. There we go. Look at all that rock. It's coming out really cool, isn't it? And it's all because of this, our lasso tool. I love working with it. This is a technique that I learned from my good friend Armand Serrano. Armand's such a great artist. I'm going to do the same thing now with our, I'm going to go to my clipping mask. I'm going to go to some of these areas on the top, in the light areas. I'm going to create some light clipping areas there. My friend Armand Serrano, I just mixed his name together. Armando. I'm trying to talk and paint at the same time. It doesn't work all the time.
No.
He's such a great environmental artist, and he was part of our layout team back at Disney, and he and I have become wonderful friends over the years, and we're going to try to get him in and do some work for us on doing environmental design. And I learned the lasso technique from him, and it was a big eye-opener for me. You can just really get in there and just create, you know, just here I want to create like little steps. So I'm going to lighten up that top area.
How do you control the value of a painting? Like, why is it that sometimes a painting can look muddy?
Well, you got to, the muddiness is not necessarily the value, it's your color purity, it's keeping all of those things in check. It's not just making sure that you know, the light and dark is working. You want to make sure that your hue is working, all of that. So now I've been using the lasso brush. I'm going to come in here and just hit some of these areas in there. There we go. Just hit them nice and bright.
Good morning, Aron.
Good morning.
Have you ever tried to do any natural effects in animation, like particles moving through the air or sea foam?
Absolutely.
Fire?
Yeah, I have. Yep. Snow.
No.
Here, I just doubled up that layer so we're getting a little brighter. I think it reads better like that. What do you think, Dustin?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
These two layers, I just combined them. I doubled up the layer.
Ah.
So now
Nice.
I've got a nice bright layer. So we've created what I feel is a nice starting place. Now we can go and we can start defining and drawing and creating little rocky textures in here. So I'm going to put a layer, where's this guy? That's good. So I'm going to put a layer on top of it all. I'm going to go in with a dark. I want to go a nice dark brown, pretty gray. YouTube question. Hello, Aron. I seem to struggle with drawing hair, especially when it leans towards realism. It tends to look like a wig sitting on the head. Any tips? A lot of that is shadows. You want to make sure that your hair is casting shadows on the face, and that will meld it to the head. And also, when you're creating hair, don't draw all the hairs at first. Draw the big shapes and then work towards the details, and that should help you. So I'm going to go back up to my Pastel C, which is a nice rough brush, and I'm looking at my rocky textures. And very loosely, I'm going to go in, just hit a few areas. Now I'm going to go back and forth between the darks and the lights as well.
Is there any potential for an environmental course?
Yes, that's what we're going to get Armand Serrano to do. Yes, my good friend. My friend Armand. So watch this. So I'm going to grab this light value. I'm going to go along and just pick up some of these little edges. Well, maybe go a little darker with it. Now we can just go in and just define little edges here and there. And then it really starts to feel like rock. Ooh, look at that. I love it. I love it.
Question is, can you smell what the rock is cooking?
What?
What? You never heard that phrase?
No.
No?
Can I smell what the rock is cooking?
That was Dwayne Johnson's like #1 line in WWE when he was wrestling.
Oh, the rock. I've
Can
never.
you smell what the rock is cooking?
No.
No?
I never knew the Rock when he was a wrestler. I mean, I never paid attention to WWF, so I didn't know. I mean, I knew the Rock, but it wasn't a thing that I followed. That's rock.
Yep. So that was like his #1.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to define some of these little. Remember how loose we were earlier? Well, now's the time to be a little bit more careful. We're going to actually define some form here and some real textures. Okay? And some details. But the good thing about this is that I'm doing this on its own layer as well, so that we can go in later and hit it up even more with some of these darker areas. All right. All right.
How do you do this in Procreate Lasso? How do you do this in Procreate? Like Lasso tool on, clip mask, Lasso tool out, or anything different from that?
I can't. I've got to review it to remember. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Did you ever ask about the acrylic course?
I haven't done an acrylic course. I will be doing an acrylic course, if that's what the question is.
Yes. The question was: is there any chance that we can have a?
So you're
acrylic course
saying
for-
there's a chance?
And someone followed that with yes, an acrylic course would be so cool, or a gouache course.
Yeah, we'll be doing all of that.
Did we do a gouache YouTube video?
Well, we did a gouache demo, yeah.
Yeah, we did YouTube demo, but
Yeah.
we never did a course.
Of course. Of course. So you can see I'm going in and just kind of defining. We let all that texture do the work with the brush, the textures with the brush do all the work earlier. And now, just kind of going in and having some fun with creating some of these other textures. Cracks. The key here is to be random with it. There we go. So you could, here I'm making naturalistic rocks, but you could do this and create, like I said, castle walls and all kinds of really cool stuff. Now I think I'm going to do, I'm going to put this, I'm going to put this underneath. Let's see what that does. If I put it underneath, that might help. No, maybe not. I'm going to put it back up on top. And I'll go back and forth. I'm going to go back and forth between doing this and grabbing that lasso tool. I want some of these cracks to get really dark. What else you got for me, Dust Butt?
Is gouache similar to using acrylic? What's the difference between those?
They
two?
both, they're both wet mediums, and you can do opaques, which is, so yes, they are similar in that way. But acrylic, the biggest thing about acrylic is once it's dry, it's dry. There's not much you can do with it. Whereas gouache, it's a water-based. It's like it's opaque watercolor. So when it dries, you can still go in later and create changes. So I'm going in and it's adding lots and lots of texture here in the rocks.
The rocks.
In the rock.
Welcome to the rock. By the way, I recently purchased the Photoshop and Light courses, and they are awesome. I'm having a lot of fun with them. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for purchasing. I'm going to lighten that up a little bit, maybe go a little cooler with it.
It would be awesome to have a gouache crossover plein air video with you and James Gurney.
Oh man, that would be awesome. I would love to do that. James Gurney is one of my heroes.
Gouache and plein air crossover. How would that work?
I'm just using gouache when we go out and do plein air.
Fair enough.
There we go. So all I'm doing here is just creating a lot of different textures. This time hand drawn.
Hand drawn.
There. Twitch question: how do I get adults to take my desire for an art career seriously? I feel like because I'm in middle school, people smile and give false praise and even think it's cute, but assume I'll grow out of the idea of art as a career. If I wanted to be a doctor, people would react totally differently and probably be more willing to help me along. Because it's art, it's just a smile and aw, cute. Any advice? Yeah, just prove them wrong. Just, that's just how the general public views artists and art. It's a hobby, not really a career. And so don't worry about their approval. If it's something you love, just keep doing it. And you'll, you just got to keep working towards that. We all went through that. I went through it, and you just keep plugging along. You don't worry about what other people think. You know, you're still in middle school, so you're going to be okay. You're going to be all right. Just keep plugging along. There. So one of the things too is I want to make sure I don't overdo this. So I'm gonna create a new layer. I want to keep the darks and the lights separate. And I'm gonna come in here, go a little warmer, a little darker, maybe a little warmer there. There we go. I'm gonna come in here and just create some edges. I want to create some lighter edges up towards the top. See that? Just creating lighter edges. What am I creating, Dustin? Lighter edges. Welcome to the rock.
Welcome to the rock. Did you ever get an urge to try a completely new and different media? Like, for example, I'm usually painting with watercolors and oil colors, but now I got a strong urge to do lino cut.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's fun, but kind of tedious at the same time.
Well, I mean, you could argue that oil is tedious and watercolor is tedious and everything else we do in art is tedious. It's just that it's just learning the different traits of whatever that medium might be. Absolutely. You know, learning a new medium is so much fun.
Are you creating lighter edges?
Lighter edges, I am. There. Having some fun with this.
Are you having a great time?
It's great. I tell you, it's great.
Absolutely great.
Nothing like hearing you sniffle your snot.
Like that?
Yeah. Go on.
Will you ever do a course on how to draw meat sticks and flesh paddles?
Yes. Sure. I've already done that. It's part of my anatomy course.
Flesh paddles. This is giving me an Andrew Wyeth Main watercolor.
I am so glad you said that because it's been my intention to make this kind of Andrew Wyeth-y, and I was waiting to see if anyone was going to say that, and that just made my day, because I was actually trying to make this look like Andrew Wyeth.
We got an Insta winner.
Yeah, that's pretty darn cool. That makes me so happy.
There should be a review video on different brands of acrylics, watercolors, and pastels, etc.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So I'm going to soften up some of these edges too. There we go. Dustin, yes, Nick, we were just talking about that, Dustin and I.
What?
The gouache plein air is literally what you did as a demo that Dustin edited. And, yeah,
Right.
Dustin and I were just talking about that.
The person that mentioned about the style that you're going for was like, "Oh yeah, nailed it."
It's true.
Hey, there's Detlef. He says, "Hey, folks, just dropping in for a second."
Man, Detlef, I am so envious of you. Man, I love those paintings you're doing. So I'm just going in and creating more texture. Having fun with these rocks. I'm going to create a layer on top. And I'm going to set it to multiply. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go kind of cool with the color. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No worries. I started getting back into art in my 40s after being discouraged in my youth. Do you have any advice for someone in my situation?
Just get back into it. You know, just get in there and start creating. That's the key. Yeah, just do it.
And don't let anything hold you back.
No. At all.
If that's what you want to do, then that's what you got to do.
So I'm going in with the multiply and just darkening some of these areas a little bit. See how much fun you can have creating just something as simple as rocks?
No.
You just don't get it, do you?
I mean, yes.
There. Look at that. Oh yeah, baby. Now I'm going to go warm on the dark areas. I think, therefore, I'll keep that the way it is. What if I put it underneath here? What does that do? Kind of lightens up some of that. What if I do it there? Well, that's no bueno, because that creates a clipping mask. Okay, I'm going to keep that there so it's underneath some of the later areas. Twitch question. Can you be too old to start working in animation in the game industry? I'm 32 and feel like if I started now, I wouldn't be considered. Well, that's not really the case. You're still young. 32? Come on, man. 32? I'd kill to be 32 again. You're still young. Get out there. Attack it.
Just do it.
Let's try putting something in overlay. What happens now? Let's see what it does.
If you ever did video reviewing all of the different brands of art materials, how many hours would that take? I'm thinking 11.
All of the different art materials? That's insane. That's an insane amount of time.
Probably 11.
11.
11.
7.
7. 11. 7, 11.
So I'm just going in and creating more texture. I've got this now set to overlay, so I'm creating yet more value change in the rock.
What exactly do clipping masks do?
They mask off the layer and create the mask off the layer that's underneath it. So I won't draw outside of whatever the layer is underneath, to be precise. There we go. Oh yeah. I love creating rock textures. Now, one thing about rock textures is you got to be careful because you can overdo it. You can overdo it. So you don't want to do that. Don't overdo it. There. Having some fun now. Now we're cooking with gas.
Dustin, how would Christopher Walken say the Scottish lift phrase?
You gonna do Christopher Walken with a Scottish accent?
No, I think it's just the line itself. Like, now what is the point of voice recognition technology in the left in Scotland? Wow!
Wow, wee.
I think instead, what it needs is one giant cowbell.
There we go. Oh my gosh. Having so much fun on this. So you can get in there, and once you have these things defined, remember how random we started? You can really get this rock to stand out.
If you are using a multiply layer and later need to go back to it to make a change, how do you get back to that original color you used?
Oh, I turn off the multiply and then use the magic wand, use your colored wand to grab it, and then you go back to multiply. So turn off the multiply, grab the color, and then go back to multiply. There we go.
Dustin speaks Scottish. Why do you want me to speak Scottish so much? What are you out of your mind, man?
Was that Scottish or was that just something else?
I think I might have accidentally went a bit Irish. My mistake.
There. So you can see how this is coming together. It's kind of cool, isn't it? Now let's go in and hit some brighter areas. And then we're going to start balancing it out here in a little bit. Whoops, I'm going to go on top of that.
Have you ever tried to do pyrography?
No.
Pyrograph?
What's pyro? What do you think pyro means?
Well, fire.
There you go. So it's creating art with fire.
Pyrography. Pyrography?
Yes.
Is that how it's said?
Yes, you're putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Pyrography. Pyropathy. Pyropathy.
Let's flop this. I want to make sure I'm not getting too detailed in some of these areas. What I might do, I'm going to create a
Try.
I'm going to put a layer on top. I'm just going to check something real quick.
You ever do graffiti?
No, you know what? I never have. Never been, I never did. I'm going to go to software. I'm just going to darken some of this.
Just gonna darken some of that stuff.
Just to simplify the values. I'm not sure if it's something I need yet. You know, I think I like that a little better. Now watch what you can do. I can go in now. Yeah. See, that simplified it. See what? Now it's not so busy. Now, if I want, I can go in with my eraser and go to my hard round brush, make that small. Oops.
That's you should do an entire live stream with
Sorry,
Scottish
on the wrong
accent.
thing. There we go. My eraser, and go to my hard round brush. There we go.
Dustin should do an entire live stream with Scottish accent as Christopher Walken. How about no? I can do one or the other, but both together.
So now what I'm doing here is I'm going in and I'm taking some of the areas that I just covered up with the overlay and the multiply, and I'm lightening it back up with my eraser. I'm erasing it away. Some of these lighter little fractures up on top. YouTube comment, and just like that, it's a cliff. You're right.
It's a cliffhanger.
Cliff Clavin, as Nick has just shown me.
Cliff Clavin.
It's Cliff Clavin. From Cheers, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
In every Pixar movie you've ever seen.
I'm all out your questions.
It's okay. I'm creating lichens and whatnot.
Creating stuff.
Yes. So look at all those rocks that we've created. Look at all those chickens.
Look at all those chickens.
Twitch question, can you spell the name of your mate that worked on Coda and Stitch? That would be Alex Cooper Schmidt. Alex. Don't ask me to spell Cooper Schmidt. No, it's Kuperschimdt, I believe. I believe I'm falling in love.
I believe I can fly.
There we go. All right, that's enough of that. We got some nice rocks going. Time to give that a rest for a little while. Let's flop it back.
Give it a rest, will ya?
Give it a rest. Give it a rest.
Come on,
Actually,
man.
you know what I might do? You know what I might do?
What
I
do you
want
think
my
it might
attention to be up top. Let's do this. Watch this. Watch this, will you? I'm going to
It's
set
not
that to...
through.
It's not through. I'm going to set that to multiply. Doggone it. and we're going to do a gradient, and we're going to go. That's a little better. Yeah, it gives us a little more attention up top. Can always lighten it a touch. There we go. So now let's get up here. Let's get on our gull. I want to paint our gull. Alex Kupler-Schmidt. Kuperschmidt. I was close. I always do the CH. He always gets mad at me for doing the CH. Alright, so.
Do you have all the rock textures in one layer?
No, there's lots of different layers. Look at them all. Tons of layers.
There's over 200 layers of rock.
Lots of different layers. There.
Layer.
Lots of different layers there. Actually, we could go in, Bobby Sir, right under there, and I can go in. We could go in and add a few plants.
Who's Bobby, sir?
Let me see here for a second. A little bit lighter. A little bit of
A little bit of
So we can put some plants in, see? Just very quickly.
Slow and steady wins the race.
That's right. Just ask the tortoise. Just adding some grasses. There we go. Just adding some little details here and there. Nick's probably adding questions and I can't see him because I've had it covered up. Yeah, I've had it covered up. Sorry about that.
Oh no.
Oh no. Hey Aaron, here's a question. How can I create an illusion of detail? For example, many little flowers that are so near that you must see some details, but they're so far away that you would hurt your hand to draw them all separately. It's basically what I'm doing here. It's just suggested detail. You don't need to put it all in. There we go. See, we're just adding little details. Look at map painting techniques. Map painting techniques are a perfect example of suggested detail. There's really no real rendering. If you look at the old map paintings for the original Star Wars so many of the, like inside the Death Star where all the stormtroopers are standing, so much of that was just loosely painted and really really just suggested detail.
Where does the "oh no" reference come from?
Someone else asked that last week.
Yeah, it's a character from Family Guy. I can't remember exactly who it is or what scene. I just remember seeing it on YouTube one of the Family Guy clip. It was a guy going, "Oh no." Like, that's kind of funny. I need to use that.
Exactly. So now you add these little details in here, you see? You see?
You say?
You add these little details in here, and it really gives that rock some life, doesn't it? Look at that. It really starts to give it some life.
It most certainly does, boss.
So I'm just going with some slightly brighter values. Not too bright. You don't want to go too bright. But just something to pop it a little bit. There. Now I've gone up to draw on the goal. Where's our goal? Our goal is... There he is. I found him. Don't worry. Oh no! Nick got him up. I'm still drawing on that. It's all one layer, doggone it.
An artist called Sheldon Bornstein uses the "oh no" reference all the time too in his courses, but I never figured out where it came from. This I looked it up, and the guy from Family Guy is apparently called Bruce.
Oh, that's right. It is Bruce. I remember that now.
He's the one that's like, "Well, hi there," right?
Yeah, exactly.
How are you doing?
It's perfect. How there? How you doing?
How y'all doing?
What's the name of that?
Why is that so funny?
What's the name of that older guy that does all the all the selfie talks?
The molester, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the molester guy.
Molester guy?
Yeah, that's no bueno.
How y'all doing? Justin, can you do Al Pacino? Not really. I wish I could though. Can you do the old guy with Zimmer frame? Zimmer frame. I don't know that one.
There we go. There we go.
We're all out of questions again.
All again.
Again. Oh no.
We're all out of questions again.
Working 9 to 5.
You know, it's funny. We watched. Oh, you knew that. I talked about it the other day. I was
Yep.
going to say we watched that movie the other night.
Or none.
Oh,
on
did you?
Netflix. Yep.
Did you like it?
I really enjoyed it.
Kind of a fun little show, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you watched through it?
Yeah.
All of it?
Not all of it.
Oh. It gets good.
Oh no, actually, I take that back. No, I did watch all of it. Yeah, It ends though. It ends weird, right, with them like in
Yeah.
a battle, like in the middle of the battle. It ends.
Yeah, I was the same way. I was just like, what? It's like, well, that's a hell of a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Please do the entire stream in a Scottish accent. Seriously. How about no?
Where does funny come from?
I don't know.
Is this one of those like philosophy questions or something?
Philosophy.
Philosophical questions?
Philosophy.
Where does funny come from? How does one become funny?
How does one become funny?
Who was the very first person to ever laugh in the world in history?
All right, so I'm just going through right now, and I'm going through and trying to hit some of this here. Trying to be very quick. I don't want to do a lot of detail on the gull. It doesn't need it for what we're creating. But I do want some accuracy. I want some soft edges.
Out of all the mediums to use, which is your favorite?
I love oil.
You say oil.
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 I love oil. I love olive oil.
Let's do a Craig Ferguson impression. Who's Craig Ferguson again?
You know Craig Ferguson. He was one of the voices in How to Train Your Dragon. He had his own TV show. He was in the Jerry Show. I think Craig Ferguson played the blacksmith character.
Oh, that's Craig Ferguson. What's a good line with him? I'll think of one, but
There we go. See, you don't need a whole lot of detail. I'm just quickly. In fact, I don't like this. I don't like the back of his head being that color. There we go. There we go. I want to get some nice. So we got our course from Tim Hodge is out. I want to remind you guys, and you can still pre-order it at creatureartteacher.com. You can pre-order it for 50% off. That is 50% off. So if you go now, you can. If you go to creatureartteacher.com, you got the slide up? No, you don't have the slide. You didn't get the slide.
The slide.
You dropped the slide.
I got it.
Go on over to creatureartteacher.com and check it out because it won't be that low again. Or at least not for a long time. Not for a long, long time.
Long
Time ago.
over
I
at
can still remember how the
creatureartteacher.com.
music made me smile.
And I knew if I had my chance, that I could make those
People
people
dance.
dance. Maybe they'd be
Happy
for a
for a
while.
while.
But February made me shiver with every paper I delivered.
Bad news on the doorstep.
I couldn't take
One more step. Why does he say step and step twice? Never understood that.
Said, what do you think he said?
Bad news on the doorstep.
Bad
I couldn't
news
take
on-
one more step. Isn't that what he says?
Yeah.
Unless I'm wrong. That's bad writing, man.
Loving the birdie in there.
Bad news on the doorstep. I couldn't take one more step. See? It just, why? Why you do that? So bye, bye, Miss American.
Missed the whole other
Pie.
lyric, but I don't know how it goes.
Drove my
Fine,
Chevy
fine,
to the levee,
fine,
but the levee was
I could
dry.
make those people dance and maybe.
I remember when that song came out. Oh, how's that out? How's that for old?
What would you do if you didn't save and this disappeared in the middle of the stream?
You guys would get to hear me swear for the first time. A lot.
Mother
Aaron, we've got kids on here.
I don't care. That stupid computer.
Followed by
Dustin, don't you say a word.
It's exactly what you're exactly right. It's so funny.
In fact, that's what happened during the recording. We had the power surge, and you're trying to find your stuff, and you, at one moment you look at me, just don't you say a word. I'm not good. I'm not saying anything.
You know what happens when the dragon breath comes.
But not only the dragon breath
But
thing,
you're
but,
so old.
but I was also
Oh, Nick.
I was also expecting like you to think that I was going to be saying something about Mac, like, oh, you wouldn't have this kind of problem with the PC.
That's what I was expecting. I was ready to throw you through the window. So bye, bye, Miss American Pie.
It might catch me.
Don't
Bye,
mention
bye,
me, but
Mr.
the-
Dustin Blaise.
Aaron, NC Wyeth or Andrew Wyeth? This is Andrew Wyeth. Hopefully. I'm hoping you're getting an Andrew Wyeth vibe.
And would you ever do a live stream concert from home sometime just for something totally different?
No. It'd be fun, actually. Ronnie Wilford and I have talked about doing it. Throwing together a few tunes. Little bud, a few tunes.
There was a live stream with the title Aaron will be swearing questions. Anybody remembering that? Is that really how it was titled?
No.
Aaron will be swearing
Oh,
questions.
yeah, maybe. I think there may have been a typo,
Oh,
obviously.
typo.
Yeah. Aron, have you ever done a piece with non-conventional mediums like sand or thread?
What? What?
I'm sorry, it's just so random.
What was the question?
Have you ever done a piece with non-conventional mediums like sand or thread?
Oh.
It's just really random.
Sand or thread?
I've done unconventional mediums before. Like coffee. I did a coffee painting. No, I can't say that I've done one with thread or sand.
I remember using glitter when I was in kindergarten. Glitter and glue.
You know, I don't remember kindergarten.
Actually, I don't remember kindergarten either. I remember first grade. I think my first grade was in BVA.
Yeah.
I just barely remember anything before that, which was in the school in Kissimmee.
Yeah.
Like, I just remember the building, and I remember a sleepover, and
Oh,
that
was
was
the
just
same
about
layer.
it.
Dang it.
Huh?
Oh, just nothing. I'm talking to myself. Go ahead.
Yeah, all I remember from that place was the building. There was a slumber party one night,
Oh yeah.
and I got in trouble one day, and those are the only 3 memories I have of that place. The rest is all like BVA and later on.
Yeah. Show
Was it
bye bye.
Will the Rajah redesign ever happen? I would love to see that. Rajah redesign.
Oh, what am I doing?
What are you doing?
Boop.
You think
See,
you ever-
look, I can create some better. Yeah, look at that. Some
You
better
can
silhouette
create
on there.
brushes.
It's not true.
It's not thread.
It's not true.
But do you think you'll ever do a
Ooh,
redesign
that's not
of
good.
Rajah in the future?
No. I already did it. I don't want to do it again.
I don't want to suffer that again.
There, see, I'm getting some nice. I'm cheating. Getting some nice little.
Cheater! 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 Turn it off!
Getting some nice patterns back there. Yeah, we don't need to go too much on there, I don't think. Let's see. Do this. There. Alright, there. There we go. Just gonna add a few here. There. See? It's all coming together now. See?
There. I love when a plan comes together.
I want to get a little bit extra there, and then we just erase it back because that layer is on top of the rock. Welcome to the rock. Now if we go back to here and I lock that in, you can come up here and just hit that a little bit. Just a touch.
Just a touch.
Just a touch.
Just a tiny little touch.
A touch.
Just a teeny tiny little touch.
All right, so now
No.
can you zoom in on some? It's a little small on the screen. Yes. How's that?
Oh,
How's that?
that's perfect.
Is that perfect?
Oh yeah, perfect.
How's that for pixelation?
Beautiful squares.
So we're getting there. We're getting there. I want to get a little bit of a shadow. Even though this is diffused light, I do want to put a little shadow underneath our gull, just to plant him on the ground a little bit. Just a touch. Don't like that color though. I don't like that color.
Hey, I don't like that color.
There we go. That's a
Hey,
little better.
Vader.
All right. I'm going to go in and just touch up a couple areas. We're almost done. Can you believe that?
Really?
Really? What time is it?
3:15-ish, 3:17-ish. Somewhere around there, but
I'm just going to go in and hit a couple of these rock edges.
and I'm all at your questions.
Sure you are.
I surely am.
Have you ever been to DreamWorks? Have you been in DreamWorks ever? I've been to DreamWorks many times, actually. I love the free lunch and breakfasts and dinners. You know that? All their lunches and dinners and breakfasts and all that, they're all free. You just load up your plate, go sit down. Acadia National Park. Once again, we did this with our lasso tool and just had some fun with that, right?
When Aaron zoomed out, there was the music of 2001: A Space Odyssey playing in my head.
So the tree in the background, I might just leave it silhouette, I think. Let me see here real quick. Definitely needed in there. Let me do this. I'm gonna add that. Let's just lock that in. We'll come down here, we'll grab. Oh, did I forget to save that brush? Doggone it, I did.
Stop forgetting to save.
Just gonna go a little dark there. Just gonna go a little dark there. Actually, we just need a little texture. That's all we need. That's all I need. There. See, this is all suggested detail. I'm not really going in and doing a ton of detail in there, but your eye just fills it in. The free food thing is getting much more common in California. They don't want you to leave the office. It's true.
The bird right now is thinking,
Where can I get good fish for dinner around here?
Actually, let's do this. Iron. I'll push it back just a touch. There we go. Here, what do you think, Dustin?
I like it.
Do you like it a lot?
I like it a lot. Somebody wrote, you need to put a fish and chip wrapper in there as the goal looks like the one who stole my chips at the seaside.
Sucks to be you, dude.
All right. Where's my...
But did we get the brush that you made?
Did we get the brush that you made? What do you mean?
Because the brushes that they made for the rocks and all that. Are those gonna be on the site?
I
in the
might.
future?
Yeah, you want some textured brushes? Ones I use to make the rocks? Is that what you guys want?
Rocks.
Hey, let's give them away, Nick. I think we should give them away. So I'll talk to Nick. We'll get these loaded up, and we'll do it as a free download. Nick's probably going, Aaron, shut up, shut up. There's only a few of them in here. There we go. There. Excuse me. I don't have the COVID. So there's our image for today. Using the Lasso tool, creating rock textures. Look at all that fun texture we were able to create just by grabbing some of those rocks. So, my recommendation to you is, get out, and when you're doing your digital photography, make sure you're getting out there and photographing textures as well, because you can use those textures to create a lot of beautiful imagery. A lot of really cool brushes, and so put those into a folder. We're gonna merge that. Let's see if I know it's supposed to be gray, but let's try a couple things. What happens if we push the saturation? That's kind of interesting. I don't like it. What if we pull the saturation down a touch? Yeah, I don't like it. So we're going to cancel all of it. We're just going to leave it the way it is. I like that. One thing I do want to do, though, is I want to lose some edges.
One more thing.
I'm going to come over here. No, not one more thing. I've got several more things. And we're going to go to my foliage brushes, and I love using this right here. This little... Okay.
Okay, I'll stop.
I like using this little grass brush to soften edges. It makes the gold just kind of sit in there a little better, especially when we zoom out. And just use it to soften some edges here and there. See there? Just like that.
I think so. I think I see it.
I think I see it.
I think I see it.
There. So, you know what?
There is one more thing.
There is one more thing. You gotta go in here. I do feel like it needs a little bit of definition in here.
calling.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty easy thing to call. I mean, when you really get down to it. You always know I'm going to do one more thing.
Oh yeah, it's always every time. It's to the point where if it doesn't happen,
You'd be
I
surprised.
know it's not you.
Right.
It's like,
You know the body snatchers have come in and taken me away.
it's like, all right, who are you? What? Where's my real father? I roll forward a little bit.
Oh,
and
you get your knee on the
on
thing.
the corner,
You know how many times I've
My-
done that over the last 30 years?
right on the kneecap too.
Yeah, it always hits you right on the kneecap.
Right dead center, and it just pushes right against. Oh,
Yeah, it's the worst feeling, man.
Oh, it's just as bad as getting hit in the funny bone.
There we go. I just balanced out that bottom a little bit.
We're not doing any clouds, or is this?
No, I'm going to keep that background flat. I think it's better that way. Flat.
So it doesn't get too crowded back there.
Yeah, I want to keep it simple. And I want to keep the focus, you know, the brightest bright in there is the gull.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm pretty happy with that.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. There she blows.
Just going to break up the... Put some negative space in there. In the tree. A little bit more negative space. There. YouTube comment. Cool. Free brushes. Sorry, Nick. One of the things I love doing is creating negative spaces. It creates interest.
Don't know why it's called a funny bone. It's never funny when you hit it.
No, it's not.
And isn't it like the reason why it's called a funny bone is because like it's not really a pain nerve or something like that. So when you hit it, it's not giving off a pain, but it's just a weird feeling.
Well, it's actually one of the few places where the nerve is exposed. You're actually hitting the nerve. So I want to create a little bit of contrast here, just for a little bit more interest.
Here's the actual definition of a funny bone. Funny bone got its nickname because of that funny feeling you get after you hit it. But your funny bone isn't actually a bone at all. Running down the inside part of your elbow is a nerve called the ulnar nerve.
Yeah.
The ulnar nerve lets your brain know about feeling in your fourth and fifth fingers.
Well, there you go.
And so basically you're hitting your finger nerves when you're hitting your elbow. And that's why it gives off that funny feeling. Because it's like, whoa, that feels weird.
Well, there it is.
I'm
sign it.
feeling kind of funny.
Time to sign it and be done.
Time to shine it and call it a day.
There it is. So, folks, there's rocks. We made rocks today. That one's a bag of rocks. Look at that, I'm still working. One more thing.
One more thing.
One more thing.
Another one thing. Gotcha. Isn't the bottom two contrasty as well? I think it's grabbing a little bit too much attention.
Yeah, you think so? Well, I don't think so. I mean, we can put a little gradient on it. Let's do it. Let's try it. Let's put a little gradient on it. See what happens. How's that? You think that's better? Without, with, without, with. Let me turn it down a little bit. That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
That's a little better.
Yeah. Good call, person. So, longtime fan here. Quick question: which of your brushes you tend to use for shadows and overlay highlights? I've been experimenting with Procreate and get inconsistent opacity. I like to use my pastel C brush for everything. I use it for everything. Or I just make a brush. See how easy it is to make brushes? We made brushes today, and we had a ball. We made a little foliage brush. That's how we did our little bushes in the background, and we made texture brushes. We're going to make all these available on the website. You can download them for free. Just keep an eye out for that.
And the person that made the note, the contrasting note, was Sergio Fernandez.
Hey, Sergio Fernandez. Thank you.
Fernandez.
Thank you very much for that note. It was good. It was a good note. I agree. That looks good. So there's our, look how abstract this is. That's the other cool thing. There's so much abstract design in the natural world. So when you're doing something natural, approach it from an abstract standpoint first. And then, find that very pleasing abstract design, and then go from there. And that's your key to getting good naturalism. All right? But I hope you guys enjoyed it today. We'll get those brushes up at some point. And, oh yeah, I gotta put lupins in there too. I'll put those in. Don't worry. I'm not gonna put them in right now because I gotta pull up lupin reference, and I don't have lupins in my head. So I'll do that later. But anyway, here is this is our picture from Acadia National Park in Maine on a nice foggy, subdued light day. Here's my cold coffee.
Cold coffee? You got your coffee?
I got my coffee. So remember, go over to creatureartteacher.com and you can pre-order Tim Hodges' brand new course on drawing imaginary creatures. Tim's a genius with this stuff, and his courses are always a lot of fun. So going over there, you can order that and you'll get 50% off. Meanwhile, our Photoshop brushes are $1 or free, because we're going to give you some free ones here. We've also got our my introduction to animation course is absolutely free. If you want to learn animation, the fundamentals, and you want to learn them from a guy that worked at Disney, worked on Disney movies, that's me. I can help you out with that. So go on over and you can check that out.
Help
and
me
it.
help you.
Help me help you. I'm having some fun with some animation right now. I can't show you guys yet, but we'll be able to show it. We'll be able to share it with you in a few weeks. Been having a lot of fun with it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is fun. Value. You want to keep your values straight, are dark and light. You want to keep your textures within those values, and you want to keep your abstract design clean and fresh. And that's what we did here. Nothing here is really even. All our values are tucked in the right areas, and we keep our greatest contrast. Areas of greatest contrast, we save those for the areas that we want to have attention. So that's what we've done here. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. Keep your masks on when you go out. The longer we keep our masks, the quicker we can get through the COVID thing. So let's do that, and we'll all be happier for that.
Oh boy.
I hope you have a great weekend. Go out there, put some beauty back in the world. Put your shopping cart away. Do something nice for somebody. It's our job as artists to make the world a better place visually, and actually just be nice. And it's just easier doing that. And so until Tuesday, because we'll see you again on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you then. Bye.
Hey guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Glad you guys enjoyed this stream. And if you're interested in any wildlife photography for you guys that are new here, you can check out my Instagram at Dustin_Blaise, where I post a lot of wildlife photos over there. Again, it's Dustin_Blaise. And also over at CreatureArtTeacher.com, I have my very own wildlife reference packs that you can buy and use for your future artwork. And it's got gators and otters and different variants of different birds that you would see in the marsh. And hopefully we'll be getting a few more out there soon. Just got to get everything organized and all that jazz. But we'll see you guys next week. Stay safe out there. Keep your masks on when you go outside. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday. And until then, Cowboy Bebop. See ya.